Hi, everyone, and welcome to MoveCo Live. My name is Samantha, the host of the show, and this is episode 3. Yes, so we started MoveCo in a time in our lives where we're all together at home, and we wanted to find a way to connect with our community. So here we are. I hope everyone's doing well. We're thinking about you, and I'm so happy to be here today and talking with one of my favorite people on a topic that I absolutely love. Today, it's all about how to go green and never look back. So my name is Samantha Moonsammy, the host of MoveCo Live, and today's guest is Mia St. Aubin. So she is going to talk to us about simple solutions to living a healthy, active, and green lifestyle. And this MoveCo Live is brought to you from one of our favorite Canadian companies, the Green Beaver Company. So if you've never heard of the Green Beaver, I want you to check it out. Go to our website, movecamp.ca, pick up your first free $10 gift card and join our community, and then you get 25% off to shop all their favorite green products. And I have a feeling that Mia is going to tell us so much more about that. So Mia, I love and respect you so much. So much of what I've learned about health and fitness and how to slow down and live this beautiful green lifestyle has come from you. So thank you so much. For the audience, I mean, you are the CEO of Move Collective, but can you tell people a little bit, like, who is Mia?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love you too so much. For those of you that don't know, who haven't followed Move Camp itself, we started it 6 years ago, and it was actually with Samantha. So this is a not-for-profit organization. Our mandate is to move together Canadian landmarks, and we keep Canadians moving. This is what we do. So all summer long, we've got workouts that happen nationwide, and it was a simple conversation that happened just like this with Samantha 6 years ago. So I've lived and breathed health and fitness my entire life. I would say my more kind of organic spiritual side came out about 5 years ago. But prior to that, I was always involved in health and fitness, and it's just something that I've lived and breathed, to the point I'd never had an indoor summer job in my entire life, and that continues on, thank goodness. So it's just something I'm so passionate about, and I'm just grateful that I can do it every single day.
Oh, so refreshing. Yes. Your energy about this is so contagious. And, going green, I think it's something literally everyone has thought of in their mind, but it's such a broad term. And I'd really love to hear from you. Like, what does it mean to you? Break it down to us.
So, it's so much more than just like, what kind of toothpaste are you using and like what cleaning products are you using? It starts from actually listening to your body. I always say, like, educating yourself and coming to a point where you physically feel like you need to change or you need to address what's going on in yourself, because that's what's going to motivate you to really change. So first and foremost, it's really about listening to your body and how you're feeling. We live in a world today where most people can look and say, like, I don't really feel stressed out. It's not really something that's in my repertoire, but really we've become so accustomed to things like chronic inflammation and headaches and mood swings and PMS, and just like an everyday type feeling of anxiety. Like, we've got this baseline feeling of crap, really. And I always say to my clients, I'm a holistic health coach by trade, and I say, a lot of the times we don't even know what good actually feels like, because if you did, then you wouldn't be doing all of these things that are kind of sabotaging your health. But, fair, it's not really our fault. It's not, there's no blame here. It's just that we need to really keep pushing the education to teach people. So it's more about not just paying attention to, what's going on around you, but like the outside world at the same time. So you go a couple steps. So you start paying attention to yourself. You start really sitting in your own space and listening to, how am I actually feeling? Do I get that afternoon lull? Do I wake up every single morning exhausted? Like, really be honest with yourself and take a good inventory. And then just observe, start paying attention to what you're doing and what's going on in your environment, how what you do impacts every single thing around you. And just have these thoughts, right? We're so occupied in our day-to-day that might not be things that we've considered in the past, but really just pay attention to what you're doing is affecting everything around you. And then wholeheartedly start living your best life by taking care of you first. I think that this is a practice that we're seeing more and more right now, but it's not selfish. it's the way that we thrive and our world thrives. If we take care of ourselves, we feel our absolute best, then we can radiate that onto everybody else and then just 10x it. So the going green lifestyle is so much more about just what you bring into your home. It starts there, but it's very much about you living your best life, feeling your best so that you can help take care of the collective.
I agree. So, I mean, I know you well, Mia, and you said it so well. And it makes it sound like you make it sound so natural, but I know that there was probably this aha moment in your life where you decided like, okay, like it's time to go green. And, you know, you became even more aware of like what was going into your body and onto your skin and all that. So tell us about that time and that pivot in your life.
It's very much like my own personal rock bottom is what I call it. Everybody has a story. It was 6 years ago. I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and you know, although it wasn't, I never felt like my life was threatened, but it's still the C word. It's still cancer. My family was very, very put off by it. You know, we were all really concerned. And mainly the messaging that was coming through was, yeah, but you're the healthiest person I know. Like, how is this happening to you? I mean, I had like a lump on the side of my throat that was like, I looked like a bullfrog. So it was a huge reality check. I felt like a fraud. I was very concerned, but if I really sat back and I looked at it, I'm like, it made sense. You know, I had overtrained, I had under recovered. I was a competitive track and field athlete for years. And I just really, to put simply, was not taking care of myself. And that went all across the board, everything, despite looking like I was, right? So that was the beginning of like my 10x health and fitness journey, my spiritual journey, and it really just propelled me forward from this. So, you know, years later, I have a conversation with a girlfriend of mine. She's a nurse, and she was working with this other company that I love called Young Living, and it's an essential oils company. And she was talking all about the different chemicals in our products, and I was almost ashamed at the fact that like I really didn't know what she was telling me. You know, you think, you look at someone who uses these products, it's like you feel like they've been using them from birth, when I had never heard of anything that she was talking about. And she was always someone, I knew her from high school. She was always someone that was very clean. She was kind of a clean freak, and I kind of envied that with her. And she knew the products to use and that kind of stuff, and I just didn't. And so she was talking to me and enlightening me about all the products that are out there and that are harming us. And so it was a combination of things. It was a huge piece of education. It was like, once I started learning, I could not look back. And then it was also, I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. I was just, you know, they talk about that junction with, you have a crisis and then you reach this junction point and you're like, it's your breaking point. Like, that's it. I need to change. I can't keep going on like this. I had such huge ambitions to take our company across the country and to get Canadians really motivated and inspired to learn how to take care of themselves. And I just realized, like, I can't do this if I look great and look like I have a lot of energy, but I don't. And I most of the time feel pretty mediocre. So it was just kind of like, I hit my rock bottom. I learned a lot. And then I was like, hey, let's propel forward and move on to this new lifestyle.
Oh, it's so refreshing. And thank you so much for sharing that. So going green, you know, I know you probably had tons of conversations with your girlfriends. You've taught me so much about like how to switch everything out. And I mean, thanks to you and so many others, and Crystal, I know her too, and I love her. You know, it definitely feels so good to have your house just like clean and swapped out of all of this stuff. But I know a lot of listeners, this is a big jump. This is a big change for them. So what steps do you recommend for someone so they too can go green?
I think I always start with awareness, right? Like really paying attention to what you're doing and how you're feeling. So first and foremost, take a personal inventory. Really be honest with yourself of where you're at, how you're feeling. You know, I'll repeat myself. Are you waking up tired every single day? Are you bloated, you know, most of the time? Do you have really bad PMS? Do you have funky bowel movements? Do you have athlete's foot? You know, do you have all of these are signs of toxicity in the body, right? So taking a personal inventory to see where you're at, and then forgiving yourself, loving yourself, and telling yourself like, okay, There are empowering, exciting things that I can actually do that can relieve this. Like, think about that for a second. If you're someone who suffers from severe PMS, imagine what it would feel like to not be keeled over with cramps during your period. Imagine what it would feel like to wake up completely refreshed and not dragging your butt down to the coffee machine, right? So think about taking an inventory, and then think about ways that you can empower yourself and feel excited about what you can do next. Because the next step you can do is start with, look at the products that you use the absolute most, okay? So you have two categories. You've got products that you use the most, and you've got your diehard products, like where you would put these things in your coffin if you had to, because you love them so much. I don't recommend starting there. You know, you've got your favorite hair products, you've got your favorite, I don't know, shaving cream, you've got your favorite creams. Don't start there. Look at the other places where you use a lot of products and start there. So start at the path of least resistance, the law of facilitation. It states that if there is a path that you have constantly been taking, if you take a path that's very similar to that, it'll be so much easier for you to continue to go down that pathway, right? To create those new neurological pathways, to pick something new. So the best example usually when food is, if you're going gluten-free and you don't want to get rid of bread, you buy gluten-free bread, right? It's very, very simple. So in your household, when it comes to products, my favorite one and the focus is starting with one thing at a time. And so this can be, for example, it can be your deodorant. It can be your household cleaning products. It can just be soap. Like in general, it can be hand soap. Start there. That's it. It can be your dish soap. It can be your laundry soap, or it can be all things that clean your home. You want to start with one category, not overwhelm yourself, and work with that category until you feel really comfortable and it's just a habit. Like, you can't even wrap your head around picking anything else, because it's just, you're so used to choosing that. So for example, you're looking at household cleaning products and detergents. You start using those for a while. What actually happens is you get sensitive to the scent, because there is so much fragrance in these products. And this is, fragrance can be up to 5,000 different kinds of chemicals, okay? But they label it as fragrance because it's a trade secret, and you look at it and you're like, oh, it's a smell good thing. It's actually so toxic to our bodies. If we detox that and we get rid of them and we don't use them anymore and we don't bring them into our home, you'll try this, test it out. Go to the grocery store, walk down that aisle, see how long you can last.
I can't do it anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't even walk past it. Like, I have to hold my breath.
Yeah.
As I go by. And so, you talk about getting headaches and stuff, like, start thinking about what you're doing in your life that's kind of causing those things. So start with one thing at a time. And the best one I think you could do is start with cleaning products. That's where I started.
That's where I started too. It's ironic. Yeah. I love that. And everything you said just made perfect sense. And, I remember taking out this, finding the new soap, finding the new, I'm like, oh, my food hits this plate. Like, I want to make sure that, like that everything's okay. Okay. I'm washing my hands so many times a day. Everyone's talking about hand washing right now. Like, imagine we're doing it like, triple times than we normally do. Like, these things are so important. So it's a really easy, great place to start. And thank you. It's like you told my story too. Like, I'm with you there. So then by the time I had a little baby, now it becomes even more paramount. So I love that you said start at one at a time, but now it's like, it's not even a question. Like, we're not all going for groceries a lot anymore. And I remember we ran out of the Castile soap. And then the next morning I go into the kitchen, and I guess hubby found like an old bottle of soap, like in the back end of the pantry. And I went into the kitchen and I could smell it right. I was like, oh, this is not what we normally use. And I took it away, and he understood. And he's just like, well, we're not going to the store anytime soon. I'm like, no, we'll be fine. Let's, I've got this in the, we'll take some from the bathroom and we'll bring it in here. Cause like, it's, like we have to make sure that we continue, and it's not even a question for us anymore. And it makes me feel so good. Like, my skin and like everything is just feeling good. So
that's what starts to happen, right? Like, you genuinely start to notice the difference. And that's a practice in awareness. You start paying attention to how your body's feeling. And then it's positive reinforcement. Instead of approaching it from like, oh, this is the worst. It's like, you pick one thing at a time, you get positively reinforced, and then it's inspiring to try and choose something else. Like, for me, shampoos and stuff, and like dry shampoo. Like I have a dry shampoo that was like my absolute favorite. So that took me like a better part of a year to find something to substitute it with, right? Like you just be patient, take your time.
Exactly. So that goes to the next thing. So you and I both started the same way. We started with the one thing, but then let's dig a little deeper here. So people have done that. Tell us your step-by-step method. How did you do it? And what are your favorite green products that you use today?
Okay, so I started with dish soap and laundry soap was the first thing I started with. So you can use like your so my favorite line is the Green Beaver Company. So you can start with their Castile soap. So this is like all purpose. You can literally do everything with it. You can wash the floors, you can wash your dishes, you can wash your clothes. Like anything you use soap for, you can wash your body with this stuff. It's literally all purpose. So the cool thing is you don't have to buy 17 different bottles, and you can use this for everything. Everything is all organic and toxic free, chemical free. So that's what I started with. And then things started to progress and I started to feel really good. And so I was like, okay, let's venture into like my care products, because when I would get out of the shower, I was hypersensitive to like, hey, I'm putting this cream on my body and this cream on my body. Like I'm the type of person that needs full body cream. So if you do that, you'll feel me. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just lathering myself in all these things. Like it was just like a no brainer. So then I moved on to body creams, and toothpaste and deodorant. So all at the same time, because those are, to me, it was a simple switch. I prefer the Green Beaver deodorant itself versus the antiperspirant. Their antiperspirant is aluminum free, but this reacts better with my body, and this is what I prefer. And again, that's something you put on every single day, and it's well-known fact. It's linked to breast cancer, like stuff like that. Cancer. My mom had breast cancer. I had thyroid cancer. My dad had colon cancer. Like, like I was not gonna be dabbling in things that would cause cancer. So then when I really started getting into it, and I was like, okay, like I want a face line. I want like all the things. So then my favorite routine is, okay, side note, is the lip balm. Like how many women use lip balm and lipsticks and stuff all the time? I'll still venture off to like your not so great lipsticks from time to time, but the lip balm, because I use it every single day, right? Our lips don't have that natural moisturizer. We don't produce that, so I use the lip balm. So then when I really got into it, my sister-in-law is always preaching to me to put sunscreen on my face, but I mean, who likes the kind of feeling of sunscreen? So I found their face sunscreen, so I put that on. I wash my face, with their cleanser. And then I put the sunscreen on. And then there's two different kinds of creams that you can use. So you've got your day cream. And then this is also like it's thicker like a night cream. But I prefer it because I like the thicker creams because I guess I have drier skin. So these are now my like go-tos. And like really the rest of it, I finally found like an all natural perfume. That was one of the last things I had to change because it was giving me headaches. But it's just like rinse and repeat now, because there's not like a plethora of products that I have in my home of all these different kinds of things. And again, like if you're someone, I get my hair done like twice a year. So like if you're someone that is really focused on that, then you can take your time and you can follow people like Joy McCarthy and things, who will venture and show you different lines that you can use. But these are my most favorite products. And I just love this company so much because they stand for everything that we stand for, and everything's organic and it's local.
Exactly. I love that. Thank you so much, Mia. So I'm going to put all that in show notes because I can imagine people are just like writing them down and trying to figure out everything that they can purchase. But what I love is that all of yours, not only is the Green Beaver Company Canadian, they are so well priced, and you get this additional discount by being part of our community. So this is something that like going green is not going to be this like really big expensive thing. Like the first thing that you showed us was that Castile soap. Like that's like the item in our house. Like it is in every different part. It's in our bathroom. It's in our kitchen. It's everywhere because we could use it in so many different ways. It's in our laundry room. So thank you so much for showing that. And I'm using very similar things. And it's really, I have to say, it's simplified my life and it's changed my life. And back to the personal sun thing, I love it too. So I experiment with coconut oil and essential oils, and I buy roller balls, and it's kind of like one of my fun things I do with my girlfriends to create new scents. So that's pretty much it. And then everything else is kind of like on, I would say in our busy lives, if we could automate something like going green products, like why not?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because it's like something that you need all the time. You always need deodorant in the home. You always need soaps in the home. So being able to know that you have a product in your house that's coming all the time that you can trust is, to me, like the best.
Exactly. Oh, Mia, you're so inspiring. Like, it fills my heart and my skin, everything with so much good feelings. Like, going green. Like, thank you so much for coaching us on this today. Like, you can talk about so many different topics, and I know you'll be back on MoveCo Live another time because I want to hear more about like your spirituality, your fitness hacks. I know you've redone your house and like decluttered everything. Like, there's so many things that Mia can share with us here on MoveCo Live. But today it was all about going green and never looking back. So I hope the tips today really inspire you, because today and now is the time, everyone. We're all like really looking inwards and thinking about our health and our well-being. Now is the time. And not only did we give you some great tips today, but we also gave you a great way. We're all looking to save money with our families right now. So there's just so much good stuff out there right now. So we're so happy you're part of our Move Camp, Move Collective family. Go visit our website, movecamp.ca. Check out what's there and everything that is there to offer. And our next episode is next week, and that's with our Move Camp coach, Lydia, and she's going to be talking to us about how to do a full body workout with no equipment needed. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. Mia, thank you so much for joining us today. So grateful.
Thank you. That was so awesome. Thanks for having me.